The table is set, the food is ready, and the family is eagerly waiting to sit down for dinner. Take a look back 50 years to the era of Jim Cleaver, and this is what you'll see. A romanticized image of a happy family surrounding the dinner table, spotlighting the idea that you were home at a certain time and ate everything on your plate. No questions asked. The idea was each night was celebrated and talked about. How was your day, Jim? What did you learn at school today, honey? The neighbors are getting a color TV. But in today's hectic world, we have the mentality of if we don't eat as a family tonight, we'll just do it tomorrow. But why say family dinner? Why should we try and protect that idyllic image of eating together as a family? Because even with all the struggles and controversies we face in today's world, the simple act of eating dinner as a family is actually one of the only solutions that has ever been shown to have a consistent and positive effect on the happiness of the family. When was the last time you sat down and had a family dinner?
Maybe like a month ago?
About 3 weeks ago.
I usually eat out.
Well, I eat dinner sometimes together, but lately my dad has been doing some things at his work and he has to work late.
Thanksgiving.
I have to say Christmas was probably the last time we ate together.
No, actually it was December.
A couple of days before moving in to my dorm.
Actually, it was yesterday.
3 or 4 days ago. So, how many days ago was Monday? Do you count today? Would it be 3 or 4 days?
4 days.
I'd say at least 5 or 6 times a week. I think it's good to bounce off ideas. Oh, I have this due. What do you think? Can I get your help? Just to kind of reconnect after a busy day before you start the next busy day.
All of us going. And the dude behind us that quoted every line and was laughing his head off. That was sitting alone. It was at least 35. What did I even hear that guy? I didn't hear that guy. I was way too into the meeting. There were so many lines that he would repeat.
You talk about everything over food. Food is a big part of our culture. I don't know. So I think it's a big part of my life and it should be a part of others, but it's not. It's sad.
I'm Liz Edmonds, the food nanny. I actually got that name because I wrote a book called The Food Nanny Rescues Dinner. And it came out about 2 years ago. My whole reason for writing the book was to help anyone who had the desire to bring their family around the dinner table in the evening on a consistent basis. Fast food has creeped into all of our lives and has made it easy and also somewhat affordable. But it's not nutritionally sound on a consistent basis. It has a time and a place in our lives, in all of our lives, and it's a great second opportunity to have, and a great thing to do once in a while as families, to run out for fast food. It's just kind of an American thing, and it's fun. But families have forgotten how important dinner time is because we're so busy.
Right now, because I have teenage daughters, they're usually working or doing school functions, so they are hardly ever home to eat dinner, and then my husband works late, so he's not home for dinner, so then I just have 2 little boys that are pretty content having anything to eat. And since I don't really enjoy making food, I'll usually just keep it simple, like something that I can prepare in just a few minutes. I think it's easier right now to get healthier food, but then at the same time it's so easy to get unhealthy food because it's so cheap, and it's always like you're always tempted by dollar menus and driving through fast food. It's so easy, and then but at the same time you want your kids and yourself to be healthy, so
fast food was okay. It's fast, you don't have to do it. So it was just to fill you up, that's about it. Because you don't have the banker's hours, you know, your schedule is always different. It's very hard to come home and be around. You get too busy doing your own thing. So that's why everybody got his own schedule now. I remember my dad making the best dish ever. It was very simple, very basic. He gets the vegetables from the garden. And what happened is he just gets I remember getting tomatoes, green peppers, and he used to get like garlic, and he chops all of them, puts olive oil, and just cooks it till it almost melts. That's the best dish my dad ever made. And we use salt and pepper on top of it, and I swear we just fight for it. It's almost like, and of course the bread, the pita bread we use with it, and you just dip it, and that was the best thing he made.
My name's Kate Della Piana, and I'm the Executive Director at Family Counseling Center and a therapist. Margaret Mead, a great anthropologist, talked about that intergenerational both connection and understanding is actually, she said, essential to mental health and to the continuation of civilization, or the stability of civilization. And when we lost that ritual of the family meal, we lost, in some sense, a little bit of that contact with other generations as well. Fair amount of loss that can be associated with the loss of simple rituals in our lives.
I think my relationship with my family, or my parents, has just gotten more comfortable, and I feel like a lot of people like my age, especially in high school, aren't really comfortable talking to their parents about things because they don't have a chance to actually sit down and talk to them.
Sometimes people are busy. No, not sometimes. People are very busy. We all have busy lives, but we all have to eat. So I think the more you eat together, the more you're going to talk to each other, the more you're going to get to know each other and become closer and have people to lean on and have people to depend on and feel comfortable with because you know them better. Just because you're family doesn't mean you feel comfortable. So we really need to take the time to get to know each other.
Don't expect perfection. The idea that of this idyllic sort of meal where everything is perfect is just not reality. Family dinners, like relationships, are full of contradictions. Kids fight, somebody might be in a bad mood, all of that sort of thing. That doesn't mean that something important isn't happening.
It's love free.
accordion.
My favorite meal for dinner would have to be my mother's cheesy potatoes.
Sometimes I think it's a nice surprise to have breakfast for dinner.
Since the weather has started to cool down, I've been really craving spicy and hot Indian curry.
I'm gonna have to go with pho. My favorite food to eat is riz au gras.
My favorite thing for dinner would probably be Santa Fe tacos with ranch.
My favorite meal would be spaghetti that my mom makes because she makes great food, and I like her spaghetti because she makes homemade sauce from our tomatoes and from meat that we get free range.
My favorite thing to have for dinner is probably homemade hamburgers, especially on the grill.
My favorite thing for dinner is leek soup.
My favorite thing for dinner is pulled pork.
I don't really have a favorite meal, but whenever there are homemade mashed potatoes on the table, I am a happy camper.